Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Over the last 2.5 years, one watch has come to dominate my wrist time. One watch has probably had more wrist time than all of the other watches that I own combined. Now, I did my research, I knew what I was buying when I bought it, and I got just what I'd been hoping for. And the watch therefore just slipped effortlessly into the role that I had wanted it to play. And yet this week, I decided to sell that watch. What is the watch and what is going on? Well, if you have been watching the channel over the last couple of years or following me on Instagram, or you looked at the thumbnail, you've probably seen this watch multiple times as a consequence of its wrist domination. It's my Citizen Chronomaster. Specifically the AQ 4030-51A. I picked up one of these lightly used from Japan at the end of October, I think it was, in 2022. Now I have gone on to buy other watches used from Japan, and I found that Japanese used doesn't actually mean used, it just means that somebody else bought it before you bought it. And indeed, when the Chronomaster arrived in Sydney, it was immaculate. Now, if you're not familiar with the range, the sub-brand, if you will, they're actually called Citizen the Citizen. And I guess they are Citizen's answer to Grand Seiko. Premium, JDM only at that point anyway, handcrafted, top-end eco-drive solar quartz. And that was really the main reason that I bought this one. I've got a ton of watches in my personal collection and I review a ton more over the course of every single year. So when I'm not wearing a review watch, I wanted a super easy grab and go quartz watch that was always there, always at the right time, didn't need set, didn't need wound, didn't even need to adjust the date because these ones have perpetual calendars, and because they are also eco-drive solar powered, they will happily tick for 7 months in complete darkness or 18 months once the power reserve feature kicks in. It's a fantastic movement. These are stated tolerances of plus or minus 5 seconds per year. Now, I admit mine did not quite achieve that level of accuracy. As you can see here, timed over the course of 12 months, it only managed plus 7 seconds per year. I was gonna sue Citizen, but I decided I couldn't be bothered. The ultimate set and forget, therefore, surely. Plus, it's made of titanium. This is a full-sized watch at 40mm in diameter and nearly 13mm thick, so it has plenty of wrist presence, and yet, as sized for my 7-inch wrist, it wears in at a mere 83 grams. Wear it loose because it's fine to do so, because it's so light, and it's one of the most comfortable, unobtrusive daily drivers I have ever had, hence its domination of my wrist time. And unlike similar watches from Grand Seiko, the Citizen features lume on the dial and the handset. Now, you know that for me lume is an essential, non-negotiable component of an everyday watch. That's one of the reasons why I bought the Citizen instead of a Grand Seiko in the first place. Is it perfect? Of course it is not perfect. These are not cheap, even used, and there's definitely a whiff of old man about them, particularly I think because of the bracelet. And only a fool would argue that Citizen has anything like the same brand cachet as Longines or Tag or Tudor or indeed Grand Seiko, all of which sell plenty of watches for similar money. But this watch isn't about brand cachet, it's not about impressing other people, it's about impressing the wearer by virtue of the fact that you know you have bought one of the ultimate expressions of an analog wristwatch. Now, Teddy Baldessar kindly invites me to be on his annual review video that he does every December, the "Which watch did you wear most over the last 12 months" video. And the last twice that I've sent in my 1-minute contribution to that video, it has been essentially the same. It's been about the same watch, the Chronomaster, because genuinely it has just made so much sense for me as the cornerstone of my current collection. So why then have I decided to sell it? My single biggest complaint about the AQ 4030-51A centres around its legibility, or perhaps I should say its lack thereof. This is the first time I have run a white dial watch long term, and I've really enjoyed it. It makes a change from the collection of mine that has always been black dial heavy. And yet white is as versatile as black. It is not, however, as legible as black. Have a look at Citizen's renders of this watch, for example. These are made by the brand and distributed by the brand. They do this one in 3 different colours. There's a black dial, a blue dial, and a white dial. What do you notice about the relative readability of those 3 different dials? It is so clear, even from the official renders of the watch, that the silver hands against that white dial are a bit of a struggle. Now, given how much I have enjoyed my time with this one, how much wrist time it has had, how well I've got to know it, I am confident that there is an important ongoing place for a Chronomaster in my collection. But I've also come to realise that it would be in my best interest long term if that Chronomaster had a black dial and not a white dial. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you today, for the first time on YouTube, my brand new black dial Citizen Chronomaster, specifically the AQ4091-56E. This is the only very slightly updated version of essentially the same watch. I believe the only visible changes are that the chicken now features on the dial and the crown, as well as the case back, replacing the old Chronomaster script. That crown on the new version, by the way, is noticeably smaller than the crown on the old version. Perhaps, in fact, it is a little bit too small, whereas the old one was a little bit too big. But a watch that was already ultra comfortable is now just that little bit more comfortable as a consequence. And the handset, slight changes to the handset. The loom doesn't extend quite as far down the hands, but they are sharper and, dare I say it, a little bit more Grand Seiko-esque as a consequence. Look, you can see clearly when I hold these 2 watches side by side, the black one is considerably more legible than the white one. I know I love the Chronomaster, I know that it's an important long-term watch for me, but I know the black one is the better choice long-term. So I thought I would do a deal. I would take a bit of a hit, trade up, as the car dealers say, and get the black Chronomaster in my collection, and I would imagine on my wrist long term. Now, I said earlier on, these used to be JDM only. That's not the case anymore. These are now available in selected high-end watch stores here in Australia, including the legendary Wamada Jewelers, owned and operated by the legendary Vincent Choi. Now, the Aussie list price is considerable, but who pays list? Certainly not if you shop with Vincent. He did me a deal. If you're in Australia and if you fancy one of these, get in touch with him, tell him I sent you. I'm sure he'll do you a deal as well. As I said though, this will cost me. I know that. I got a great deal on the white one, but I'm still gonna take a hit on it when I sell it for sure. I know that. I did get a discount on the black one though to help soften the blow. I'll say it again though for the final time today, the black one is not a watch that I have bought on a whim. It's a watch that I have road tested. It's a watch that I have put through its paces. I know it inside out and I know it's the watch for me. It's kind of like upgrading your car to a slightly newer version of your current car in a different colour. It will cost you, but at least you know that it's relatively risk-free because you know you're gonna love it. So there you have it. What do you think? Am I mad? Did I do the wrong thing, or did I do the right thing by swapping a watch I know I love to a watch I know I love a little bit more? Leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts. And if you are interested in a white Citizen Chronomaster with only 2 owners, send me an email. While you're here, why not check out the 2 videos I've made about this watch previously, my comprehensive review and then my 1 year on the wrist update. Thanks for watching this one. I will see you again in the next one.